All right, so last thing that we have to do here is complete the unadjusted trial balance, okay, using main accounts, okay? So if you take a look at the financial forms, okay, it's going to look a little slightly different from the unadjusted trial balance. This time there's 4 columns in here, okay? So the reason why I've done this is because I want you to also save some extra time here because you did so much work to just create your trial balances here, right? You basically listed every single account, and I don't want you to have to do that all over again just to do the unadjusted trial balance. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make a copy of this, and we're going to actually create the row for the main accounts, okay? And what I mean by the main account, so if you remember the chart of accounts, if you look at the chart of accounts, you can tell which ones are main accounts and which ones are whatchamacallit, sub-accounts, right? I mentioned it from the very, very beginning that your main accounts are going to be the ones in capital letters, and all your small or sub-accounts are going to be, or sub-contra, whatever accounts they are all going to be in lowercase letters, okay? So that means when I want you to create a bank account, right? That bank account's going to include your checking, petty cash, and your cash register because it's your bank, right? It's the money that you have available to spend for your business, okay? So that's what I want you to do is to create your trial balance using the main accounts. So, and then you're going to add all the sub-accounts under those main accounts to equal out. Now, once again, so all you'll be needing here is just your ledger, okay? And for any reason, if you have a discrepancy, then you'll need your journal, okay? And your financial forms, okay? So like I mentioned before, we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to delete the unadjusted trial balance here, okay? And we're going to make a copy of the trial balance number 4 here. So you click on move and make a copy. You're going to click on create a copy, and I want it to be above the adjusted trial balance. So again, I click OK. So there it is, trial balance 4 number 2. And I'm going to call this, right, unadjusted trial balance, okay? So you might gonna have to make a little changes here. So right here where it says trial balance, you're gonna put in unadjusted here, okay? And you're gonna change the date because it's not the 28th, it's gonna be for the 30th, okay? So we're wrapping up everything for the month, okay? So we're going to add our changes for the last 2 days, but this time we're going to be adding in your rows for your main accounts and your rows for your main accounts, right? So in this case, right, how do I add in columns in here, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to click on the letter at the very top. So notice I click on B, it highlights the whole entire column. Now what happens here is if I right click and insert, it's going to insert a column to the left, okay? So in this case, there's my column to the left, all right? And I'm gonna adjust them by clicking and dragging your little arrows, your little section here. So if you look very carefully between A and B, there's that line here. If I click and hold and drag, it will shrink up the columns for me. So for letter B, I don't need it to be that big, so I'm going to go ahead and shrink that up, okay? And let's see if that works. Perfect, okay? And then now I need to insert one more column in here right between B and C. So I'm going to click on B, right? It's going to highlight that whole row. I'm going to insert, and there you go. I created my column here between B and C, okay? Now, what I'm going to do here is I am also going to put in headers here, okay? Because this right here is going to represent my debits for my main accounts, and this is going to represent my credits for my main accounts, I'm also going to pick a color so I can see the differentiations between the columns, okay? So for instance, I'm going to go ahead and click and highlight this first column here. And I'm going to color this, something that stands out. So I'm going to use this blue color here. Okay, I'm not going to fill it in. I'm going to use the font color to change it. So I'm going to use this dark blue right here. Okay, so that means any number that I punch in here is going to be blue. So as you can see, it's blue and it's contrasting against the black color here. Okay, you can choose whatever color you want. You could choose red if you really want to see it that well. And in this case, I'm going to choose this navy blue. All right, and I'm also going to do the same formula down below, right? So it's another equal sum formula. Okay. So I'm going to do that at the very end. Okay, just because I'm going to be adding a lot of columns and things like that. I want to make sure that it grabs everything. Okay, but if you want to do it now, you can. All right, just to ensure that your formulas go through. Okay, so I'm going to do equal sum. So again, your formula can go backwards and it can also go forwards as well. Okay. All right, and then of course, I'm also going to make another column here. So right now, my accounts are balanced out right now. So now that I have this, so I'm going to also make a differentiation for every single account that I add in here. They're going to be navy blue color. Okay, so as you can see, I shrunk my table big enough to be able to see everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here with my assets as per usual, and we're going to start with the very first one, which is my bank account. Okay, so as I mentioned before, my bank account is going to include my checking, my petty cash, and it's also going to include my cash in the register. Okay, so I'm going to capitalize them because, like I've mentioned before, right, my main accounts are going to be in capital letters, right? And, right, so there you go. You can see there, I have a navy blue bank right there. And this is going to include, once again, so this is what I want you to do. The left side is going to be the main accounts. The right side is going to be all of the accounts. Okay, so the black numbers are going to be all of your accounts, and the blue numbers are going to be your main accounts. So for instance, this bank account, right? I told you that it includes the checking account, the petty cash, and the cash in the register. So instead of having to recreate your trial balance again, I'm doing it like this so that you don't have to make a lot of changes to your trial balance, right? Because you've done so much work just to list out all the accounts and you already color coded them all in black originally, right? So instead of doing that, I'm going to help you save time by adding in those extra columns so that you could be able to just equal sum it. So in this case, this blue number here for the bank is I'm going to click and highlight, right? I'm going to do equal sum. I'm going to highlight the black numbers, right, for the checking, petty cash, and the cash register, right? And right there, that's going to give me a number here that's going to equal up. So then that means my main account for the bank is right now currently at $5,656.91. Okay, let me rechange that color. Say to blue, okay? So that means every time that, let's say for instance, right now that I created that formula, it's telling me that my bank right now is $5,656.91, right? So for instance, I know for a fact that I did make some changes to my bank account, right? My bank account currently holds, or my checking account currently holds a total of $10,885.17. So if I make a change to my black numbers in my black row, okay, or my black column here, it's going to automatically recalculate your formula that you put in your blue account. So again, help you save more time. So then when you're done with this, of course, if you wanted to, you can also, again, you can hide this column so all you see is just your blue numbers. Okay? And that's the beauty of using Excel, is the way that you can manipulate it would help you tremendously on doing a lot more things that you can do, right? And make it easier for you. So again, my checking account is 10,885.17. Okay? My petty cash is 500 and my cash and register is 310. So right now in my bank account, I have a total of $11,695.17, right? Because my bank account includes checking, petty cash, and my cash and register. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and complete the rest. So again, accounts receivable is next. Accounts receivable is a main account. So I'm going to choose this and I'm going to change the color to blue. Now in this case, right, I only have one number associating it with this. So in this case, I'm going to use my equal sign and I'm going to cell reference this to copy the number from this cell to this cell. Okay? So right now, I currently have $1,531.95 in my accounts receivable. So $1531.95 is currently in my accounts receivable. So remember, you change anything to your black numbers, your blue numbers will copy over. Okay? So again, allowance for doubtful accounts is a contra account, but again, that's an adjustment entry. So you don't necessarily need to include that for now. Okay, because we haven't done the adjustments yet. Okay, so the next one I have is business supplies. Business supplies is going to contain your medium cups, your large cups, your sugar, and your creamer. So that means I'm going to I'm going to click on this row here for the medium cups so then I can create the line item above. And this is going to be business supplies. Okay, and this is going to include all of the following, right? Medium, large, sugar, and creamer. Okay, so right now, let's update my medium cups. Right now, I have $378.87. Okay, I have... For my large, I have $568.33. 568.33. Okay. My sugar is currently at $64.80, so no changes there. And my creamer is still at $538.89. So therefore, my total business supplies is $1,550.89. Okay, because that's the grand total of all of those. Okay. Next I have here is office supplies. So office supplies, once again, is a main account. So I will color this blue. Okay, again, I'm going to color this blue. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and copy over this $150 from my black column here, which right now it's still $150. Okay. Next is going to be my inventory, which includes my regular and my Supreme coffee. So again, I'm going to go ahead and click on this row right here for the regular coffee and insert it. And this is going to be my inventory. So I want to know what my overall inventory is. So in this case, it will include my regular coffee plus my Supreme coffee. Okay. So again, my regular coffee is currently at $20.78. Oops. $20.78. And my current Supreme coffee is at $133.70. $133.70. Do again, $133.70. So that's giving me a grand total of $154.48 worth of inventory, right? When we do our adjustments, we'll include the ceramic coffee mugs. Okay. Next is furniture, right? Which is going to include your bistro tables and chairs, right? Your counter, your desk set, and your display shelves, right? So furniture, right? I'm going to make sure it's blue, okay? And this is going to include, once again, your tables and chairs, your counter, your desk, and your shelves, okay? So right now, right, since they didn't make any changes, right, we're still at 660508 for my tables and chairs. You're still at $1193.22 for your counter. You're still at $658.37 for your desk, and for your shelves it is $577.08, giving you a grand total of furniture to be $9,033.75. Okay. Next is going to be office equipment, so that will include your office equipment. So right here, it's going to include your computer, printer, and register. So once again, you're going to insert, and this is going to be representing your office equipment. Okay, so office equip, right? We're going to change that to blue, and this is going to include your computer, printer, and your register, right? So again, your computer still at $1834.84, your printer still at $378.87, your register is still at $649.49, giving you a grand total of office equipment to be $2,863.20. Right? Next, you have here is regular equipment, which is going to include your brewer, your grinder, and your refrigerator. So again, I'm going to click on brewer, insert above that, and this is going to be your regular equipment. Okay, I'm going to change that to blue, right? And that's going to include your brewers, your grinder, and your refrigerator. Okay, for $12,146.20. So once again, right, we have the brewers at $4,505.29. You have your grinder at $4,145.57. And of course, you have your refrigerator at $3,495.34. Okay. Then we have your vehicles, right? Your only thing that you have here is your truck. So I do want you to go ahead and include vehicles. Okay, even though it's just that one item in there. Again, we're just following the rules here. So for vehicles, okay, since you only have the truck, you can just go ahead and equal the truck for the $32,208.90. Okay. Then the next thing that you have is your prepaid account. So all of these are already going to be your main accounts here. Your prepaid accounts, your deposits, and your goodwill, okay, are already main accounts. So I'm going to go ahead and change the colors there, right? Your prepaid accounts should equal your 665,417. Your deposit should equal 1,700, and your goodwill should equal 2,100, right? Because those haven't changed. See, 665,417, deposit 1,700, goodwill 2,100. No amortization yet, that's an adjustment, and no miscellaneous expense. Okay? So that's your asset. So now it's your liability. So now you need to be very careful, because now you're no longer on the debit side. You're going to be now copying over to your credit side now. Okay? So your credit side right now, accounts payable is already a main account. So is your Visa payable and your notes payable. So I'm going to go ahead and verify that those are all blue. Now for your accounts payable, okay, you're going to be on your credit side here, right? I formatted that these are going to be blue, right? So let's go ahead and update each and every single account. So the first one is your accounts payable. Right now, accounts payable is currently at $3,235.75. So 3,235.75. Okay. All right. And your Visa payable, right? That was the last thing that we did here, is currently at $2,156.96. Okay. And of course, your notes payable is still at $4,144.83. Okay. And now you have payroll liabilities, which is going to include all of these payroll things that we did. So the FITW, the Social Security, Medicare, company FICA, FUTA, SUTA, and workers' comp. Okay, so again, I'm going to insert this right above FITW and call this payroll liabilities. Okay, which is going to be an equal sum, okay, on the credit side now. So third column in, and it's going to include the FITW, Social Security, Medicare, FICA, FUTA, SUTA, and workers' compensation. Okay? So let's make sure that those, verify that those numbers are still the same. So again, no salaries or commissions payable. We have FITW at 225.76. We have Social Security at $142.60. We got Medicare at $33.35. We have FICA at $175.95. We have FUTA at $138, SUTA at $69, and workers' compensation at $31.28. Okay, so let me verify that I got all those numbers. Okay, good. So you can see, if you could double click and you can highlight them. Enter. So I have a total of payroll liabilities to be $815.94. Okay. All right. So let's see what's next after that. Utilities payable, none of those. Okay. Unearned revenue, nothing there. Sales tax payable, right? So remember, we made that adjustment for the sales tax payable. Sales tax payable is going to be, once again, a main account. So again, it's going to be under the credit side. We're just going to copy this. And right now, sales tax payable is currently at $20,046.11. Okay. All right. Then we have interest payable, and then loans, which includes a business loan and your truck loan. So again, you're going to create a line item above for your loans, okay, which is going to equal your $29,221.90. Okay. Okay. For your 22922,190. Okay. So we're done with your liabilities. Next is equity. Equity, once again, we got main accounts, right? Owner's equity and owner's withdrawal, right? We know that these are already main accounts. So therefore, owner's equity currently has a current balance of $30,000. So make sure you're in the third column saying that that is $30,000. And of course, we have a main account for the owner's withdrawal to be a total of $3,000, right? No changes there with no one. He didn't make any can't pull any more money out of the bank after the 28th. Okay? Now, here's the best part. Revenues. Revenues, sales. So, if you remember all of these sales for the regular, sales for the supreme, the mugs, the medium regular, large regular, medium supreme, large supreme, you can sum all of that up into one column for your sales. And again, the reason why I am teaching you to do this is to make it much more easier to do your financial statements. So here I included sales, and sales, once again, in the third column is going to be a formula which will include your sales for regular, supreme, mugs, medium regular, medium supreme, and large supreme coffees. Okay? So right now, let's go ahead and update all of our accounts here just to make sure that they are reflecting what they reflect. So the sales for regular coffee is currently at $1,394.96. Okay? Then you have your sales for supreme coffee currently at $1,436.40. Okay? Then you have your sales for the ceramic coffee mugs to be a total of $1,763.91. Okay? Then you have your medium regular coffees, sales to be a total of $5,221.76. Okay. Then you have your large regular coffee for the $6,503.25. Okay. Then you have your medium supreme coffees at the $6,655.77. Okay. And then you're going to have your large supreme coffees at $7,524.44. Okay? And that's going to give you a grand total sales of $30,500.49. Okay? All right. Then we have contra main accounts. So again, sales returns and allowances is a contra main account. So again, you're going to highlight this, right? And then you're going to equal this right here. So your sales returns and allowances is currently at $19.96. Okay, so that didn't change. Okay. Your sales discount is also a main contra account. So we're going to highlight your sales discount, which is currently going to be a total of $1,979. Okay. Then you're going to have delivery income, which is a main account. Okay. Which is a credit to you. So third column for $300 now. Okay. And interest income, which has nothing at all. Okay. All right. Next one's the cost of goods sold. Of course, the main account's going to be the cost of goods sold. So you can choose, right? Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and click on the row that says COGS regular coffee, and you're going to put in cost of goods sold, right? You could just put COGS if you want to, which is going to include your regular coffee and your supreme coffee. Okay? So let's go ahead and update those accounts. So right now, my cost of goods sold for my regular coffee is currently at $1,406.03. Okay. My cost of goods sold for my Supreme coffee is currently at $1,486.61. Okay. All right. Of course, we don't have our ceramic coffee mugs, right? Because that's an adjustment entry, and we don't have my cost of materials yet. Those are also adjustment entries. So last one we have here are your expenses. So let's go through it one at a time. First one's going to be your advertising expense, right? Is still currently at $185. Okay. Your bank fees, none yet because that's an adjustment. Your business expenses are still currently at $1,000. Okay. So again, most of your expenses are main accounts here. So $1,000. Okay. Freight expense is $500. Okay. Insurance expense is still at $395.83. Okay. Your subcontractor expense, right? Again, we sum that up into labor expense. So that's going to include your subcontractor and your temporary work labor. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a column here for the labor expense. Okay, which once again will include your subcontractor and your temporary work labor. Okay, so again, my subcontractor is still at $1,890 or $1,890, and then your temporary still at $360. So none of those changed. Okay. Your license and permit expense is still at $375. Okay, $375. Your loss on disposal of asset is still $2,000. Okay. Then the next one you have here is office supplies expense, right? Haven't done our adjustment yet. Then we have payroll expenses, which is going to include salaries, commissions, and your payroll taxes. So I need to insert another row here, okay, for your payroll expenses, okay? Once again, which will include your salaries, commissions, and payroll taxes. So first one's first. Salaries and wages are still $2,300. Your commissions is still $560.66. Your payroll taxes is still $414.23. Right? Then you have your purchase expense. Okay? So purchase expense, so your payroll is going to be a total of $3,274.89. Okay? You're going to have your purchase expense here. Okay? Purchase expense, right? Which is currently at 1092.20, so that's still there. Purchase returns, again, this is a contra main account for the purchase returns and allowances. Okay? Which is a contra main account, so it's a credit 4, it's still at $22.24. We have a purchase discount, so I gotta include the purchase discount now. Okay, so purchase discount is another contra main account. So it's a credit. Okay, so right now it's $1.87. Okay, we got our rent expense. Okay, keep selecting that, sorry. Okay, we got our rent expense for $1,500. Okay, and travel expenses, right, is going to be also like this, which is currently, right, that was the last thing that we updated, which was now $271.07. Okay? And no utilities expenses, no bad debt, amortization, or depreciation. So therefore, let's go ahead and verify if our totals match, okay? So right now, I'm going to verify that I have all my numbers included here. So I have everything except for my bank. So I got to redo this formula, okay? So I'm going to do equal sum here. And I'm going to click here and highlight all the numbers. Okay, so up to the very top one for the bank, and I'm going to go ahead and enter. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to apply it to all 4 columns. And let's see, I get a 0, right? Because this one, remember, was my debits minus my credits for the sub accounts, right? And this one is going to be my debit minus my credit for the main accounts, and I get 0. So that means that's good. Now, right now, they're all pound signs. So I'm going to extend each of my windows to see what number I get. And behold, I am successful, right? I get a total of the main accounts to be $102,446.09 on the left, with an equal credit of $102,446.09. And of course, I get my sub account or my every account here to be $102,446.09. So again, in this case, my numbers come out even. They're all even across. Whoops, I don't know why I changed those to blue. They're supposed to, it could be black, right? These are my sub accounts. So, success, we did it. Our unadjusted trial balance is complete, and we are completely done, and we are ready to complete step 6, which is to do our adjustment entries. And we're going to do that on Monday, okay? So save all your work. All right. The answers will be posted on the Google Classroom. And other than that, I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend.